Hi, so what's your name and where are you from?
My name's Monte Zufelt. I'm from Denver, Colorado.
And did you travel here for Contact in the Desert specifically?
Oh, specifically, I used to live in Southern California. When I heard about the group getting together to touch on such a state-of-the-art subject, I figured this would be the tip of the spear, so that's why I'm here. It's been a really, really interesting group of people who are really forward thinkers here.
Yeah. So what is your history with UFO conventions and this topic? Well, how did you get into it?
It's not so much just the UFO subject in and of itself, as most people here are really attuned to. Our interaction with extraterrestrial species is, in my opinion, irrefutable in all the evidence that we have over the world, but it's just connected into this point in time where it's time for humanity to essentially grow up and come out of the darkness and step into the ascension of our own being into the next step of development, really. And we're really right at the edge of that. And everyone here that I've met, and it's been a really interesting group, is very much in that mentality. It's what we got 500 or 600 people here. And I think it's really inspiring that the 500 or 600 people that we have here will eventually turn into 500,000 or 600,000 and then millions, and ultimately, as this message spreads around, to just help people wake up and come out of the matrix of all the horse we've been living in for so long. And that's why I'm here, to help you be a part of that. So
yeah. Oh, that's cool. So, of all the speakers and events that have been happening, what have been some of the things that you found resonated most with you?
For me personally, it's about humanity coming into their own integrity through spirituality. The UFO scenario, you hear so many stories here of the extraterrestrials, some of whom are friendly to us, some of whom are not. And I heard someone say earlier that Earth is like the 7-Eleven of the galaxy, and I think that must be very much true. There's certainly no non-interference scenario that seems to apply to this planet, because everyone wants to come, can, and that's, I think it's created a lot of confusion and disorientation amongst the people of Earth. And I think there's a lot of help here that's helping us to come out of that scenario and into the next phase of our evolution, which is going to be, in my opinion, more than just a shift in just perception, but an entire shift in our consciousness that I think is very likely going to, sooner or later, being a relatively short period of time, lead into our transition into a whole nother dimension.
Have you had any personal experiences that have changed your mind, like in your life?
I think one of the most significant experiences that I personally have had is I was at a convention similar to this a couple of years ago in Southern California, and I heard Graham Hancock talking about his experiences using plant spirit medicines in South America that allow you to do a very accelerated path of personal clearing and ascension and really step into a higher communication and experience into the higher dimensional realms. And I spent quite a bit of time pursuing that as an artist, and what he had talked about in regards to what to expect with that was not exaggerated in the slightest. And there's really no words that you can put into three-dimensional terms that describes the experience of clearing through the lower densities and being in a situation where you can actually step into the higher dimensional realms, which I've been successful in doing, and it's very much a life-changing experience. And I was pointed in that direction at an event very similar to this.
So you're referring to the ayahuasca experience,
yes,
specifically? Wow.
Yeah, I did a trip over a year ago down into Peru and South America and spent time with the shamans, familiarizing myself with that. And it was really difficult, but there can be stages, depending on what your own personal path is, that you're going to come out of your own darkness, and you have to go, as the shaman said, they said you have to go to hell before you can get to heaven, and it was very much like that, but totally worth it.
Cool. That's fascinating stuff. I've heard stories, but so you're an artist, and
Yes.
you said the experience you had influenced your art, and so will you talk a little bit about that?
It was not so much an influence of the art. It was my work is very much angelic in nature, and the message that was delivered to me by channeling many years ago was something that I wanted to experience myself personally, which is a message to humanity that very much correlates to so much of what's being said here. And the only way I could really come forward with my own personal conviction in relaying that message was to experience it myself rather than just being told or what I think or what I believe to be so. I had to actually experience that for myself, and that continues to expand, but I've been real successful at doing that using the ancient technologies of plant spirit medicines, which for the most part in this country are scoffed at as being insignificant or unreal, and that is very untrue because they are extremely significant and they've been proven through thousands of years. And my story of what I brought forth validates that because I've experienced it myself.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of scoffing going on in this country, but
Not here.
not at this conference.
Not here.
Which is great. I love it. So, what's your name and where are you from?
My name is Roya Zargar, and I'm from Luxembourg.
Oh wow! Did you come all the way here just for Contact in the Desert, or you were already here?
Yeah, I live in LA now, but actually it was a coincidence. We came to Joshua Tree, and the coincidence was that this was going on, and I love this stuff, so yeah.
Oh, so you didn't know, and you were just like drop in.
Yeah, but that's what makes it even more powerful because I feel like I was meant to be here.
So, what of all the speakers and events that have been happening here this weekend? What are the ones that really resonate with you?
Well, I mean, first of all, what I found amazing here is that it's all based on universal love, and on mind expansion and consciousness expansion, and that's what I like here. It's not just on aliens and spaceships. It's about humanity. And unfortunately, I didn't see too many workshops, but the ones I've seen, I enjoyed Dr. Dream very much because he was talking about love frequencies and frequencies in people, and I found that very, very interesting. So
I enjoyed that one too. We were there. So how did you get started? How did you get interested in this subject?
I've been interested in this since ever. When I was a little kid, my dad was talking to me a lot about ancient civilizations, and I had all these encyclopedias about all these amazing ancient civilizations, and I always thought that it's just not possible. It's just human beings that made this, So I've been into this for a long time, and I'm very happy that finally now, because 10 years ago, people were thinking I was crazy when I was talking about stuff like that. And now there's more and more people that are opening up to that. And I find that amazing, and I get goosebumps just speaking about it, so.
That's great. Do you have any work that you do in your own life that's kind of related to this?
Yeah, I mean, I'm an artist, and I'm an artist because of all those reasons, I'm an actress, but I'm also a musician, and I'm writing my own films, but, I want to touch people, and whether it's to make him cry or make him sad or make him happy, but to make people feel or make him feel human. And that's why I'm an artist, So that's kind of my way of fighting for the good of this world.
So what's your name and where are you from?
Well, thank you. I'm Scott Linde. I'm from Santa Barbara. I have a little food company called Sunpotion Transformational Foods, and it's really wonderful to be out here in the desert in the heat and Joshua Tree, and it's a nice opportunity to pay attention and be aware of things like drinking plenty of water and noticing what we're putting into our bodies. So that's part of why I'm here, is actually just to support the community through the foods that we're bringing forward that are really easy to absorb and work with the body and support people's nutrition.
So what kind of foods do you guys do?
Thank you. So we do 30 different products, and they're mostly single ingredients, either greens or mushrooms or algae or herb extracts or Taoist tonic herbs or seaweeds. So these are like powdered foods that you basically put a little bit into your tea or other foods you're already eating or drinking during the day, and it's a way of massively upscaling your whole nutritional profile, your whole bodily support, your ability to embody and hold these frequencies in your body. So all of this work that we're learning about, of this conscious contact, of this spiritual contact, of this evolution of the human us, the human us, we get to be the ones that are here now to embody this God experience in our human form and be that here on the planet. So eating foods that are very high vibrational and very supportive to raising and holding the vibration in the body, this allows us to actually have an experience which is maybe uncommon for some people. Hey, maybe it's uncommon for some people to feel really, really good all the time. And it's not necessary to actually go that route. You have options. We all have options. So if we're eating things like bunch of algae each day, or some reishi mushroom, or some rare treasured powdered food from around the world, then it actually, the intelligence of the plant and the land and the water that in the areas where these foods are grown comes through, and it informs our system in a way that we're getting the whole evolutionary intelligence of these plants in a concentrated, powdered form, which there's no digestion. You drink it in a little water or a little tea with an empty stomach, and it goes directly into your blood. When it's in your blood, then it is doing its work with you. So it's a way to actually, a baseline, most rudimentary, simple explanation is it's a way to, really easy way to feel good.
Wow. So that's great. It's right in line with, the conference and a lot of the, stuff that we're learning. No, it's okay. And, have you had a chance to see, any of the, lectures or any of the workshops?
Absolutely. I'm familiar with this content and this kind of circle of information, and David and Aurora are close friends, and so they're actually responsible for bringing us here and inviting us to come and participate. And they've been really wonderful supporters through the last couple of years through inviting us to come and be a part of events that they do, because they personally are taking a lot of these foods. We give them a lot, and so they have a known physical experience themselves with what these foods do. And Aurora said to me explicitly, we need to go help all those old people feel better. Why don't you bring your food down and we can do that? So that's what we're here to do. We're here to up-vibe the scene and bring in the good food and actually make it an easy way for people to get even just a little bit of information, a little bit of permission, a little bit of an option, and it's like right there. We just make it easy for people. So.
Great. Well, thanks so much for speaking with us, and we're gonna have to check out what you have over there.
Awesome.